This is a story that should never have happened. Iryna Zarutska was only 23 years old, a Ukrainian refugee who fled a war zone with her family and landed in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was building a life, working at a pizzeria, dreaming of becoming a veterinary assistant. On August 22, Iryna boarded a light rail train just like any other night, but minutes later, for no apparent reason, a man she'd never met stabbed her 3 times in the throat. She didn't survive. Prosecutors say the attacker, 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown Jr., is now federally charged with causing death on a mass transit system. If convicted, he faces life in prison, even the death penalty. Iryna's death has sparked outrage, not just in Charlotte but across the country. The White House called it pure evil on display and said this tragedy was preventable. The public transportation system in a major American city was more dangerous than the war zone she left behind. Right away, politics ignited. Republicans blamed the city's Democratic leadership, alternatives to arrest, elimination of cash bail. The mayor of Charlotte, Vi Lyles, called it a tragic failure by the courts and magistrates, urging better mental health care. But here's where the story gets even more complicated. DeCarlos Brown wasn't just a repeat offender, he also struggled with serious mental illness, diagnosed with schizophrenia. Brown's family says he heard voices, suffered paranoia, believed people could read his mind. Earlier this year, Brown was arrested for misusing 911 after calling police about man-made substances inside his body. He'd spent years in prison for armed robbery, released in 2020. His sister said he was never the same. Just months before the train attack, a judge released him without bond, despite his history. Now, Republican lawmakers say that decision directly enabled Iryna's death, and they're calling for the judge's removal. On top of it all, surveillance footage shows the violence unfolding in just moments, and bystanders rushing in to help, but it was already too late. Today, North Carolina GOP leaders gathered to demand change. Charlotte's mayor pushes for bipartisan solutions. Everyone agrees, something failed, a system failed, and a promising young woman who'd survived war lost her life in a place she thought was safe. That's what we know right now. Stories like this force us to confront how we deal with public safety, mental health, justice. For Iryna and her family, the answers come too late. Let's keep talking, keep pressing for better, because no one should lose their life like this, not here, not anywhere.